A teen's final prayer, a story that will break you. My name is Micah, and I was 17 years old when I prayed my final prayer. I know it's strange to hear someone say that so calmly. Most people don't talk about death, especially not kids. But when you're facing it every single day, you either learn to hide from it or you learn to see it differently. I chose the second. I didn't start out this way. I used to be just like every other teenager, worrying about school, my hair, what to wear, what people thought of me. I laughed a lot. I loved sketching comic characters and playing guitar in my room. I wasn't loud. I wasn't the life of the party, but I was alive. I had dreams. I wanted to be an artist, maybe a teacher, maybe a dad one day, but then one small stomach ache became two, then three, then I was missing classes. Then I was missing meals. Then came the tests, the blood work, the quiet meetings between doctors and my parents. I still remember the night they told me. My mom tried to smile, but her hands were shaking as she reached for mine. Micah, she said, they found something, a tumor, it's cancer. It didn't feel real. Cancer was something other people got, not me, not at 15, but it was real, and it hit fast. The next year of my life was hospital beds, chemotherapy, radiation, needles, scans, more needles, and quiet nights staring at ceilings wondering if I'd ever feel normal again. The worst part wasn't the pain. It wasn't even the hair loss or the nausea. It was watching my parents cry when they thought I was asleep. It was the silence in the car after bad news. It was the look in my younger brother's eyes, confused, scared, like he didn't recognize me anymore. People always say, be strong. But what does that even mean when you're 16 and can barely walk from the bed to the bathroom? That's when I started praying, not like before, not the kind you say before meals or when you're scared of a test. These were real, raw, messy prayers. Sometimes I was angry. Sometimes I was silent, but I kept talking to God, and the more I talked, the more I felt like maybe He was listening, even when I didn't get better. Even when the scans showed the cancer was spreading, even when the doctor sat down and told us there was nothing more they could do. Even then, I prayed. One night, when I could barely hold a pencil, I wrote my final prayer in my journal. I didn't know it was my last one at the time, but something in me knew it was close. I wrote, God, if I don't wake up tomorrow, please, please use this. Use me. Use my life, my pain, my little story to show someone you're real. I don't understand why this happened, but I trust you. If my time is up, don't let it be wasted. Let it mean something. That was the prayer. I didn't ask to live. I didn't ask for a miracle. I just asked that God use it. And then I slept. That night was peaceful, the kind of peace that wraps around you like a blanket and whispers, you're not alone. I wasn't afraid, not anymore. It was like God was sitting beside my bed holding my hand. I couldn't see him, but I knew he was there. I didn't wake up again, but my story didn't end there. My mom found my journal. She read that final prayer at my funeral. People cried. I mean, really cried. Not just because I was gone, but because somehow, even in the middle of death, God was so real. Friends who never believed in God before started asking questions. One girl from school messaged my parents later. She said I was planning to end my life the same night Micah died. But after hearing his prayer, I changed my mind. If he could have that kind of peace, maybe I can too. Another boy, quiet just like me, started going to church. He told the youth pastor, Micah's story is why I came. Even my doctors, some of them skeptics, started talking about faith. One of them said, I've never seen a teenager face death like that with peace. That was God, not me. I didn't have anything to give except my pain, my questions, and my trust. But God took it and turned it into something beautiful. So if you're watching this and your heart feels heavy, if you feel like life is unfair, if you've prayed and still feel like God is silent, if you've lost someone you love, I want to speak straight to your heart. God is real. He hears every word, every whisper, every tear that falls when no one's looking. And your life, no matter how broken, how short, how painful, is never wasted in his hands. My name is Micah. I was 17. And my final prayer was answered, not with healing for me, but with hope for you.